have to say one of the best parts of my day is when I go over these bridges that bring you to beachside, because you do see our beautiful bridge. So since that is a state road,
Hmm.
which I learned there are state, city,
Yes, the
county
county.
roads.
Right.
So please forgive us if we don't get to your requests soon enough, because there's other agencies we might have to contact. But I hope it does happen quickly. I did hear that it was a long time in the
Yes.
making of this. So I just hope, with all of the need for infrastructure, since Florida is getting so busy, that the funds will come in and it'll be done quicker.
Absolutely. Well, Commissioner, is there anything that I missed that you want to share with your constituents who are watching you right now?
Well, if you don't know, I do love Daytona Beach. Hashtag Daytona. I love Daytona.
order the August 12, 2025 City of Daytona Beach Special Magistrate Proceedings. At the outset, I've reviewed and approved the June 10, 2025 minutes. And will all those representatives for the City of Daytona Beach who will be testifying at this morning's proceeding please stand and be sworn?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Thank you.
All right, we will proceed to case number 1 on the agenda. Do I have any announcements before we get started?
Yes, we do. We have several.
Okay.
Starting on page 2, case number 4. Case number SMG 07-25-120 at 2700 North Atlantic has been administratively withdrawn to, if they need to cite the new owner. Page number 3. Case number 5. SMG 08-25-139 at 825 West International Speedway Boulevard is in compliance, 8/11/25. Same page, case number 6, SMG 07-25-123, West International Speedway Boulevard parcel, is in compliance also, 8/11/25. Case number 7, SMG 07-25-124 at 703 Orange Avenue is also in compliance, 8/11/25. Page 4, case number 10, SMG 08-25-161 at 701 Rip Collins Drive is in compliance, 8/7/25. We have a Zoom appearance for case number 14 on page 5. Sorry, page 5, case number 14. It's going to be a Zoom appearance. Page number 9, case number 29, SMG 08-25-154 at Live Oak Avenue parcel has been administratively withdrawn. Page 10, case number 35, SMG 07-25-133 at Whitehall Street parcel is in compliance 8/12/25. Page number 11, case number 39, we have a Zoom appearance. On page 12, case number 42 and 43 also, we have Zoom appearance. Page 13, case number 44 will be appearing by Zoom. Page 14, I'm sorry, page 15, case number 51 and 52 will also be appearing via Zoom. Oh, I'm sorry, and lane review 1 has been pulled.
What's pulled me?
They're going to revisit that at another time.
Case number 1, Carroll's Salvage Revocable Trust. Anyone here for the respondent? Yes, ma'am. If you would please state your name and be sworn.
Sorry,
State your name and be sworn.
You can pull the mic down.
I'm sorry.
Pull the microphone down. There you go. State your name.
Carol Salvage.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Do you agree this violation existed or occurred as stated in the notice of violation?
Yeah, I got one.
Do you agree the violation existed? I'll take that
Yeah,
as a
kind
yes.
of.
Yeah, kind of. Good enough for me. All right, I find the respondent in non-compliance. Mr. Inspector, how long should reasonably be required for the respondent to come into compliance?
By the next cutoff.
Am I reading this correctly? The violator was first notified of this in July 31 of 2024?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Ms. Salvage, the city is suggesting you ought to be able to have this taken care of by September 3. What say you to that?
It's already taken care of. I called and left messages for Mr. Stinson. I never got a response.
All right, he's a
I
busy
called
man.
them
He'll
over
get
a
back-
week ago.
Yeah, all right, he's a busy man. He'll get back to you.
Okay.
All right, very good. So then, sounds as though you are of the opinion that the work's done. Mr. Stenson will find his way out there. If it's in compliance, he'll file a notice of compliance with the file, and that'll be it. If not, he'll tell you what else has to be done.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Yep.
Case number 2, John Mark and Summer Lynette Gill. Yes, folks, if you would please state your names and be sworn.
John Mark Gill.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning, Inspector Quinn with the City of Daytona Beach Code Compliance. My credentials are on file.
Cool. Do you agree this violation existed or occurred as stated in the notice of violation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I find the respondent in non-compliance. All right, yes, ma'am?
Staff is going to recommend a finding of compliance for this case.
Okay, so the matter's already been brought into compliance.
It comes in and out of compliance. So he takes it away, he brings it back, he takes it away, he brings it
That's
back.
the life of a boat.
Okay.
I understand. Very good. Thank you. Apparently you're in compliance now.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Case number 3, the 433 Marion Street Land Trust dated April 20, 2018. Anyone here for the respondent? Yes, sir. If you would please state your name and be sworn.
Nicholas Shundermark.
I'm sorry. State your name again.
Nicholas Shundermark.
Spell your last name.
SCHOONDERMARK.
Raise your hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. What is your affiliation with the respondent, the 433 Marion Street Land Trust?
So it's an upstairs and downstairs apartment. I rented the downstairs apartment.
Okay. Do you have authority to speak on behalf of the respondent here today?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right.
It's, Your Honor, it's the city's position that he can provide testimony, but he can't speak as the owner.
Understood. All right. Well, then let's hear from our inspector then.
Okay. Good morning, Sarah Kirk, Inspector with the city. My credentials are on file. This is a citizen complaint generated case from May of 2025 for outside storage, dirt and grime, peeling paint, rotted wood, bare exposed wood trim, broken windows, and insufficient utilities, water, sewer. First notification was 5/12/25. Compliance due 5/27/25. I re-inspected the property on 8/8/25. It's still in non-compliance. Staff's recommending a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Okay. And is Mr. Schonermark? Did you want to be heard on this matter?
Well, I don't get any mail there. They steal the mail from me, and I have no clue what all needs to be done. So,
Why is it your concern?
Because I live there.
Well, I understand
The
that.
owners of the place are either out of their country or in prison for the rest of their lives. I was actually rented the downstairs apartment fraudulently and can't be evicted at this point, and I'm trying to take over the whole property at this point. I want to pay the back taxes, get everything fixed up, and take the property.
Who do you pay your rent to?
I was paying it upstairs until I found out that it was abandoned property, and they're not even the owners.
All right. Well, it doesn't sound to me like you're contesting the fact that it's in
Oh,
non-compliance.
it's definitely in non-compliance.
And you're probably not contesting the fact that it needs to be brought into compliance. And I don't hear you saying or suggesting it couldn't be brought into compliance
It could
prior to
definitely
May,
be brought
on or
into
before September 3rd. All right, so that having been said, after having heard from our inspector as well as our witness, I find the respondent in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, case number 4 has been withdrawn. Case number 5 is in compliance. Case number 6 is in compliance. Case number 7 is in compliance. Bringing us to case number 8, Tina Banks, Robert Robinson, Diane Dunn, Sandra Daffin, Benjamin Robinson, Schnetta Malcolm. Is there anyone here for the respondents? Okay, folks, looks like you're going to make our secretary do some work here. Y'all need to state your names and be sworn.
Okay. One at a time, tell me your names. Are you on this?
Yes, I am.
Which, Shanita Malcolm, okay,
Last name.
there you go. And you are?
Tina Banks.
Okay,
Sandra
and,
Daffin.
okay,
And Robert Robinson.
Bobby Robinson.
She's not on there.
okay. All right.
That's
You-
right.
Can you come up to the microphone, ma'am, and state your name?
My name is Bobby Jean Robinson.
I'm sorry, I can't hear her.
Bobby Jean Robinson.
Barbara?
How you doing, sir?
She just saw the crowd heading to City Hall and figured she'd follow.
Okay, everybody raise your hands.
Yes,
Right
ma'am.
hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, can one or more of you tell me if we're in agreement that this property is in noncompliance as stated in the notice of noncompliance?
Well, sir, like for instance, the house number for it, like on there is, that has always been on the house. Have a picture of it also. But yes, the house is like overall non-compliance, yes.
All right, thank you. I find the respondent in noncompliance. Madam Inspector, how much time should reasonably be required for these folks to bring the property into compliance?
Next cutoff.
Our inspector is suggesting you ought to be able to have this laundry list of items taken care of by September 3. What say you to that?
Can I just ask one question?
Sure.
Because I actually live in Dade City, and I come back and forth. So, I would like, for instance, like we cut down the hedges in front of the house and so forth, below the windowsill, but still because of the houses, the windows up high. The hedges are still high, but they've cut down below the window, and those kind of things. If I can just actually have somebody tell me exactly what I need to do, as far as this needs to be moved or this doesn't need to be there, I'll get it in compliance.
Okay.
There you go. Apparently, that's the young lady you need to talk to.
Yes, sir.
She'll probably give you a card, I suspect, before you leave, or let you know how to get in touch with her.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure you understand the majority of it, but she can fill in whatever details you may need.
I appreciate that.
All right, so having already found the respondents in noncompliance, I'll order the respondents to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Since you are all out of town and since you're operating as a group, let me remind you, it's not done until the paperwork is done. So once all the work is done, you have to call her for a final inspection. And if she's satisfied, she'll put a notice of compliance in the file, and then you're done.
Yes, sir.
Don't just do it and disappear,
Okay.
because this will sit here and continue to percolate, and bad things will happen if a notice of compliance isn't put in the file.
Exactly.
So make sure you call for your final inspection.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Case number 9, Panora Properties, LLC.
Not right now. She has a number. The one in the back.
Tina.
Okay.
Anyone here for the respondent, Panora Properties? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
So this case was opened on January 8th, 2025. A complaint generated case for overgrown landscaping, peeling paint, dirt and grime, sunken septic tank, damaged accessory structure, damaged exterior ceiling, damaged interior surfaces, flooring, plumbing, inoperable appliances, outlet covers, and smoke detectors. First notice was received January 10th, 2025. Compliance was due February 10th, 2025. Last inspection was August 11th, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. There has been contact with the owner. Staff recommends a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Okay, has any work been done?
Yes, majority of it.
The majority of it. Okay, well, that's encouraging then. All right, and so you said the next cutoff?
Yes, please.
Very good. Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony, photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 10 is in compliance. Case number 11, Leroy C. Bell. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Good morning. Inspector Roosevelt Butler, credentials on file with the City of Daytona Beach. As pertains to 1432 Illinois, this is a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on February 15th, 2025, where it was determined the property had the following violations: unmaintained landscaping, illegal parking of commercial vehicles, garbage, and rubbish. The property was notified on April 28th, 2025. The property was to be in compliance on June 30th, 2025. Last date of my reinspection was August 11th, 2025. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had no contact with the property owner. Staff requests compliance by next cutoff.
Has anything been done at the property?
As you can see, nothing.
Very good. Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony as well as the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 12, Whitney Sade Atkins. Good morning. If you would please state your name and be sworn.
Can you go over to the speaker?
Whitney Atkins.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Do you agree these violations existed or occurred as stated in the notice of violation?
I agree to that work need to be done.
You agree to what now?
I agree that things need to be fixed.
Okay. Then I will find the respondent non-compliance. Mr. Inspector, how much time should reasonably be required
Next
for
caller.
Ms. Atkins to come into compliance?
My next caller.
The inspector seems to think you ought to be able to have this stuff taken care of by September 3. What say you to that?
I won't be able to do it. I had the money to have this stuff completed. However, my money was taken from me by the city of Daytona when they unlawfully arrested me, so I don't have that money right now to do anything.
All right, well, the nature of the violations is weeds, unmaintained landscaping, a damaged fence, and dirt and grime. Has any work been done to date?
No.
Looks to me like a lot of this you could do yourself.
No, sir, I cannot. How do you know I can do it myself? How do you know I'm able to do it myself?
I guess I don't.
Okay.
Okay, anything further?
Yes, there is. I don't have the money to do it because I had the money, but like I said, it was taken from me by Daytona Beach Police when I was unlawfully arrested.
Yeah, I heard
so
that.
Unless I can get that money back, then I can fix it.
Okay. All right, I'm going to find the respondent non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter.
Ooh, she's going to wrong
Case number
floor.
13. Case number 13. The Corgi Krupa LLC.
Yes, sir.
Was I
Good
even
morning.
close?
Pardon?
How do you say it?
Korji Krupa LLC. It's my God name in India.
Okay, very good. All right.
Good to see you, sir. Long time.
If you
Raise your,
would-
raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay, and your name?
Praveen Kumar M. Patel, long name, but everybody knows by PM.
Very good. Do we agree this violation existed or occurred as stated in the notice of violation?
Yeah, it's a old case and we got the notice, so we already complied and rectified whatever inspector suggested.
Okay. Then I find the respondent in non-compliance. Mr. Inspector, how much time should reasonably be required for the respondent to come into compliance?
My next caller.
All right. They seem to think by September 3 you ought to be able to have it finished. What say you to that?
Yes, sir. No problem.
Okay. Then I will order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Case number 14, I believe we have a Zoom appearance. Paul S. Philos, LLC. Okay, folks, we have no video of you.
There's one. Now we need audio.
Good morning, excuse me. I'm a representative for the tenant, and I just wanted to come and view this in case there was anything more that the tenant needed to do after this hearing.
Okay, who is speaking right now?
My name is Nick Scavio.
Okay, I see your name on my screen. I don't see your video.
Forgive me, it's,
if you all would please, there you go.
There.
Now you're there. All right, gentlemen, if you would please state your names and be sworn.
They're attorneys.
They're both attorneys? Okay.
No, sir, I am the property owner.
You're the property, are you an attorney?
I'm an attorney and I represent the tenant.
All right, and Mr. Property Owner, are you an attorney?
No, sir.
If you would please state your name and be sworn.
Sure. Spiro Philos.
I'm sorry, say your name again?
Spiro Philos. S-P-I-R-O.
Okay. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Philos, do you agree this violation existed or occurred as stated in the notice of violation?
Yes.
All right, I find the respondent in non-compliance. Mr. Inspector, how much time should reasonably be required for the respondent to come into compliance?
This property actually was put in compliance on the 25th, on the 30th, and the city is looking for a non-compliance and non-compliance. Non-compliance after the date of due, and now in compliance to set for will fine for future violations.
Okay. Mr. Philos, do you understand the nature of the relief that's been sought by the city?
Yes, I do.
They want me to find that you were in non-compliance, which I already have. They want me to find that you are now in compliance, but they also want me to find that for every future violation, you could be returned here for consideration of a fine of up to $5,000 per event, if I'm not mistaken. You understand all that?
Yes, I do.
And you're agreeable to all that?
I do.
All right.
I am.
Mr. Scavio,
Yes, sir.
did you want to be heard on this matter?
No, Your Honor, I just wanted to be present.
Very good. All right, then having already found the respondent in non-compliance, I now find, based upon the testimony of our inspector and the stipulation of the respondent, that the respondent is now in compliance, but that for every future violation, the respondent may be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $5,000 per occurrence. Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck.
Thank you.
Case number 15, First Premier Management Holdings, LLC, and Años Thiago. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Good morning, sir. Inspector Wexberg, City of Daytona Beach Code Compliance, and my credentials are on file. This is for the property address of 921 South Ridge, which was first observed on the 20th of February 2025 as a result of the call out from the Daytona Beach Police for the violations of damaged windows, unopenable windows, missing screens, damaged doors, unsecured property, missing address numbers, structural damage, interior structural damage, damaged interior walls, floor sagging and missing, damaged and missing doors, garbage, trash, and demolition debris, termite damage, cooking facilities, none, no working bathroom facilities, no working or properly mounted toilet, damaged water heater, no working heat, thermostats missing and damaged unsecured electrical equipment, electrical wire fire damaged, no present or working smoke detectors, and doors or windows damaged with no egress possibility. Like I said, this was first observed on the 28th of February. The house was posted on the 20th of March 2025, and since then we've had no contact with them. City is seeking a recommendation of noncompliance with compliance due by the next cutoff.
What contact, if any, have you had with the owner?
Absolutely none. They did not respond to the certified emails that were sent, and they were returned undeliverable.
Looks like an awful nice property to be so totally neglected.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well. All right, noting the absence of the respondent based upon our inspector's testimony as well as the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was looking for it.
All right, case number 16, First Premier Management Holdings. Is this the same respondent?
Yes, sir.
First Premier Management Holdings, LLC, and Años Thiago, 921 South Ridgewood. Same property as well?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
My name is Inspector Ron Beatty. My co-credentials are on file. This case was opened on August 16th, 2024 as a citizen's complaint case for unmaintained lot, unsecured shed, trash and debris, dilapidated fence. First notice was received on March 18th, 2025. Compliance was due on April 23rd, 2025. Last date of reinspection was June 24th, 2025. The result was noncompliance. Contact has been made with the owner. Staff recommends a finding of noncompliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon the testimony of our inspector as well as the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 17, John A. McCafferty. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
This case was opened on March 13th, 2025 as a complaint-generated case for unmaintained landscaping, outside storage, peeling paint, decayed garage doors, dirt and grime, damaged screens, no address numbers, damaged roof. First notice was received on March 14th, 2025. Compliance was due on April 16th, 2025. Last date of reinspection was on July 25th and result was noncompliance. I've received no contact from the owner. Staff recommends a finding of noncompliance with compliance due and next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 18, T. Ramasamy Enterprises 1 LLC. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
This case was opened on November 4th, 2025 as a complaint-generated case for work without permit, a roof. The first notice was received June 10th, 2025. Compliance was due July 14th, 2025. Last date of reinspection on August 4th, 2025, and the result was noncompliance. Contact has been made with the owner. The staff recommends a finding of noncompliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Okay, I'm sorry, what did you say about contact with the owner?
I have had contact with the owner.
And what does he have to say?
They were trying to get the permit. They had issue with their contractor, so that permit went dead, so to speak, and they're trying to do it again.
All right. Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 19, Gabriel Nazario. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
This case was opened on April 21st, 2025 as a complaint-generated case for outside storage, unmaintained landscaping, dilapidated and damaged fence, address numbers hanging. First notice was received on April 21st, 2025. Compliance was due on May 23rd, 2025. Last date of reinspection on July 1st, 2025, and the result was noncompliance. Contact has not been made with the owner. Staff recommends a finding of noncompliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 20, Larry and Shirley Johnson. Anyone here for the respondent? What say the city?
Good morning, Inspector Bostwick, credentials on file. All right, this case was field generated, opened on June 16th of 2025 for unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris, dilapidated fence. First notification was on June 25th of 2025. Compliance was due by July 7th of 2025. The last day of reinspection was August 8th. The lot was cut, but the trash and debris and dilapidated fence still remains. The result was non-compliance. There's been no contact with the property owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 21, the Johnson Junior Living Trust dated January 24, 2025. Anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was field generated, opened on April 17th of 2025 for an unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris. First notification was on June 13th, the property was posted. Compliance was due by June 22nd. The last day of reinspection was August 11th. Result non-compliance. There's been contact with the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance or compliance next cutoff. They did cut the lot on over the weekend, but they left a bunch of trash still need to be picked up.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon the inspector's testimony as well as the photographs presented, I find the respondent in non-compliance. Order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 20, Dreamers Outreach, LLC. Is there anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Your Honor, I need to come back to that case, please.
All right. Case number 23, Herbert Green Jr. Anyone here for the respondent?
And also, I need to come back to that case, please.
Case number 24, Atlantic County 03 LLC.
All right, this case was field generated, opened on June.
Anyone here for the respondent?
My bad.
Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was field generated, opened on June 2nd of 2025 for a damaged fence, trash and debris, unmaintained lot. First notification was on June 7th of 2025. Compliance was due by June 17th of 2025. Last day of reinspection was August 8th. Result non-compliance. There's been no contact with the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
All right, noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 25, Atlantic County 03 LLC. Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was field generated, opened on May 28th of 2025 for failure to obtain a permit for a fence, driveway, carport, accessory structure, Connex trailers, unmaintained landscaping, trash and debris, and a recreational vehicle. Since then, the RV and the carport accessory structures were removed. The remaining violations are no permit for the driveway and fence, unmaintained landscaping with trash and debris. First notification was on June 5th of 2025. Property was posted. Compliance was due by July 21st of 2025. Last day of reinspection was August 8th. Result, non-compliance. There's been no contact with the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony, I find the respondent in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 26, Three Oaks Inn, LLC. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
This case was a citizen's complaint opened on June 3rd of 2025 for unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris. First notification was on June 7th of 2025. Compliance was due by June 17th. Last day of reinspection was July 25th. Result non-compliance. There's been no contact with the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due on August 15th of 2025.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony as well as the photographs presented. Is that a photograph of the property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to commit to compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 27, Narciss Holdings, LLC. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was field generated, opened on August 5th of 2025 for unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris. First note of the case was on June 12th of 2025. Property was posted. Compliance was due by June 22nd of 2025. Last day of reinspection was August 8th, result non-compliance. There's been no contact from the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Noting the absence of a respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 28, Linda Braxton. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was a citizen's complaint opened on June 5th of 2025 for unmaintained vacant lot, recreational vehicle parked on the lot. First note of the case was on June 12th of 2025. Property was posted. Compliance due by June 17th. Last day of reinspection was August the 7th. Result non-compliance. First contact with the owner was on yesterday. Staff requests finding of non-compliance with compliance with next cutoff, and the RV was moved.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon the testimony of our inspector as well as the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 29 is withdrawn, bringing us to case 30, ASP ReadyChem LLC. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was also field generated, opened on June 17th of 2025 for unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris. First note of the case was on June 24th of 2025. Property was posted. Compliance was due by July 5th. Last day of reinspection was August 7th. Result non-compliance. There has been contact with the owner. He said he no longer wants the property. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
I'm sorry, did you say there had been contact with the owner?
Yeah, it was contact with the owner. He said he's not going to clean it up anymore. He doesn't want the property.
Cool. Okay. Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony as well as the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 31, Deborah Harvin. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was field generated, opened on July 7th of 2025 for unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris. First notification was on July 8th. Property was posted. Compliance was due by July 12th. Last day of reinspection was August 8th, 2025. There's been no contact with the owner. I did receive a voicemail this morning saying that she will not be able to attend the hearing. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance with next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon the testimony of the inspector as well as the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 32, Sean Harvin. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
This case was field generated, opened on July 7th of 2025 for unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris. First notification was on July 8th of 2025. Property was posted. Compliance was due by July 12th of 2025. Last day of reinspection was August 8th of 2025. Result non-compliance. There's been no contact with the property owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance with next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 33, Sylvester and Garrett B. Covington. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was field generated, opened on June 10th of 2025 for unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris. First note of the case was on June 17th of 2025. Compliance was due by July 30th of 2025. Last day of reinspection was August 8th. Result, non-compliance. There's been no contact with the property owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance with next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent based upon our inspector's testimony as well as the photographs presented, I find the respondent in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 34, Victor Shatilo. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was also field generated, opened on April 15th of 2025 for unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris. First notification was on May 8th of 2025. Property was posted. Compliance was due by May 19th. Last day of reinspection was August 7th. Result, non-compliance. There's been no contact with the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance with the next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 35 is in compliance. Case number 36, Space Shuttle Renovations, LLC. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Our respondent was first notified on April 28th of 2025. Since last June's hearing, there's been no progress or contact. Staff requests a fine of $250 a day with a max fine of $15,000.
All right, noting the absence of the respondent, based upon the testimony of the inspector, as well as the photographs presented, I am fining the respondent the sum of $250 per day commencing August 7, 2025, and that fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $15,000 or the property has been brought into compliance. Case number 37, Space Shuttle Renovations, LLC. Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Our respondent was notified on April 28th of 2025. Since last June's hearing, there's been no contact or progress. Staff requests a fine of $250 a day with a max fine of $15,000.
Noting the absence of a respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I am fining the respondent the sum of $250 per day, commencing August 7, 2025, and that fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $15,000 or the property has been brought into compliance. Case number 38, Whirlwind Daytona Investment, LLC. Anyone here for the respondent? Yes, folks, if you would please state your names and be sworn.
Tommy Ross.
Lee Wei.
I'm sorry, say your name again.
Lee Wei.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
And your name again?
Tommy.
Pardon?
Tommy.
Tommy Voss.
All right, I have this matter here for imposition of a fine, all other violations, determination of a compliance date, Unit 119. I'll let you bring me up to speed as far as what all that means.
Yes, sir. All the violations that were other than room 119 have been put into compliance. The permits have been pulled on 119, and the city is requesting a compliance date for next cutoff.
So there's no need for me to be considering a fine at this point?
No, sir.
All right, well, that's good. And as far as Unit 119, we're looking for a compliance date?
Yes, sir.
And what are you proposing?
Next cutoff.
Next cutoff is September 3, 2025. All right, as far as today's business is concerned, you're not here for consideration of a fine. That's the good news. We are looking for a compliance date as far as your completion, I guess, of Unit 119. The city is suggesting you ought to be able to have that done by September 3, 2025. What say you to that?
Is there any way that we can get an extension on that?
Well, it's possible if you give me a good enough excuse.
Right now, we actually have already applied for the permit, and we
Okay.
did get the permit approved, but it's contingent on the final sealed version of drawing from our contracted architect company. We have already paid the architect fee. However, there's a communication gap between the general contractor and the architect.
Are you the general contractor?
No.
Yeah. I'm the general manager, and he is the owner of the
Okay, there's a communication gap between the general contractor
Well,
and the
basic-
architect?
Yes, because there are a couple, revisions needed, and the architects, their office is swamped with work.
So you're waiting on an architect to
Yeah.
finish his drawing so you can get your permit.
That's correct. So,
And then once you get the permit, how long is it going to take you to do the work?
I would say it's about a month to do the work. If it requires multiple inspections, then it would be maybe
Is Unit
a month or
119
two.
being occupied at present?
No.
Is it basically secured?
Yes. It's
And
used
will
as a
you
storage.
Will you continue to keep it secured while you're waiting
Yes.
for to bring it into compliance?
Right.
If you're going to do that, then I can be a little more flexible with time.
That would be great.
Okay. All right, then why don't we do this? So what you're telling me is it's out of your hands right now because you're at the mercy of your architect.
Kenneth, we have been calling them every single day, but they're.
Well, all right, don't badger them into oblivion. I understand, I get the point. All right. Well, first off, you can badger whoever you want. All right, September 3. And once the architect gets the plans over here, you're expecting then what to have?
The sealed version of drawing.
The
To
what
be
now?
submitted, the sealed version of the architect drawing.
Which will then get you what? Your permit?
Yeah, our permit will be approved finally.
Okay.
It's already approved, but it's
And you're
contingent.
guesstimating about a month to do the work.
Yes, after it gets approved.
Contractor ready to go?
Yes.
And you'll agree to keep it secured in the interim? All right. Okay, in the hopes that I don't see you again, I say that with nothing but kindness.
Giving them more time.
Okay, then I'm going to amend our current order of noncompliance. First off, I find that with regard to the, hang on one second. So all the work, with the exception of Unit 119, has been done?
Yes, sir.
All right, then I'm finding that the respondent is now in compliance with our order of noncompliance with regard to all work that was to have been done with the exception of Unit 119.
Correct.
With regard to Unit 119, I am ordering the respondent to come into compliance by November 5, 2025. That's 90 days. I'm guessing you're going to need 60 to get your plans from your architect and your permit in hand, and then you tell me it's going to be a month. So November 5, 2025, subject, of course, to Unit 119 not being rented, occupied, or otherwise utilized until such time as it's brought into compliance. Failing compliance with those matters, the respondent will be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Okay? All right. So let's hope that time frame works. I understand you're waiting on your architect. Keep this gentleman posted as to any hitches in the giddy app, because he can be your best friend if you're back here right after November 5th trying to explain why you're still not in compliance. All right,
Yes.
good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Case number 39, Christopher R. and Joy Loudon. Anyone here for the respondent?
Hi, yes, I'm here by Zoom.
Oh, yes, you are. That's why I got the big Z right here. Yes, ma'am, if you would please state your name and be sworn.
Jennifer Loudon.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, I have in my notes here that this matter was continued from a June hearing, and we're here to consider the imposition of a fine. So let me hear from our inspector.
Okay, first notification was 7/31/2024. Since the last hearing, I haven't had any contact, and there's no known progress. Staff is recommending a fine of $100 a day to a cap of $20,000.
Doesn't sound good, Ms. Loudon.
No, that doesn't. I did send in a letter. I'm sorry if you didn't look at the letter yesterday. The GC is requesting 4 months. We have to do structural plans as well. And then once the structural plans are done, we can apply for the permit for the hand railings and the structural requests.
So we don't hear from you, and then the first time we do, you're telling us you want 4 months?
Previous hearing, I asked for 6
Are you
months.
appreciating the optics to all this?
Pardon?
Are you appreciating the optics here?
I'm not sure what that means, but no.
What is the 4 months needed for?
We have to get structural plans drawn up from
do
a
what?
structural engineer for the handrails and the area by the garage.
And why hasn't that been done prior to today?
We've been requesting, it's taking a long time.
Your Honor, the city would like to remind on the record that this was first notified September of last year. I mean, July 31st of last year. So it's been over a year.
We've been working on other permits and having issues with the city. In our eyes, this is a mixed-use building, but the city is saying it's a single-family residence. We have just had tons of issues with this property. They've approved a permit for electrical for 6 meters, and then they denied it, saying, no, you can only have 1 meter. It's been a real mess with this property. We're not happy because we bought it thinking it's a mixed use, 4 apartments and 2 commercial. And the city is telling us it is not, that it's a single family zoning. So it's just, we need some time for sure.
What is the need for the structural permit?
It's for the handrails, I believe, the handrails, and there's an area above the garage, or there's a garage unit, and there's some structural support there that Ms. Kirk is requesting us to get.
So you are basically converting what you thought was a multi-use property to a single-family residence?
No, we are trying to fight that because we bought it, with the intent of having as 4 apartments and 2 commercials, which it's had since 1940 something when it was built. So it was all news to us. They approved the permits for the roof saying it was commercial. They approved the permit for the 6 electric panels. And then they turned around and said, no, it's not approved.
Well, when you say you're fighting it, what exactly are you doing in the way of fighting it?
We're going to try to go get it rezoned. Like we have to, apply for a mixed use rezoning, and it's going to cost like $20,000 or $40,000 or something to hire someone to go and request it to be rezoned back to what it's always been, which is, I don't understand that. Why in the first
This
place?
is supposed to be a single-family residence, you're not in compliance and you're subject to being fined. If, on the other hand, you're telling me, well, we're trying to exhaust our legal remedies because we're in a dispute with the city regarding the building and zoning use of this property, then that is another matter that requires other considerations. So when you say you're in a dispute, have you initiated any proceedings that I need to be aware of, like before a Board of Adjustment or a Building and Zoning Commission?
Tons
Or
of
are you
meetings.
just
We've had
griping?
In-person meetings, we've had 2 in-person meetings. We've hired a gentleman from Zevin Cohen to help us kind of get the request in front of them. And we have an attorney now, so it's kind of a big deal to us just because of the money we have into the property. But yes, we've met with the city attorney as well. I've emailed all the commissioners, emailed the mayor. This is just kind of
Is this building
problem
occupied?
no, this building's never been occupied.
Do you intend to keep it unoccupied until you get this resolved?
Yes, sir.
What is the sort of administrative or legal relief you're looking for? Some kind of a determination that you're allowed to use it for a multi?
Correct. The mixed use zoning that it's always had, we're requesting it just keep it's what it's always been.
All right, well, I understand what you're saying.
Your Honor, we don't object to giving them a little bit more time, but we do object to the fact that a lot of things are happening and she's not keeping in contact with the inspector. So this is the first time we're hearing about any of this. And we got this letter yesterday, from her and her contractor. So everything seems to be kind of last minute notifications to us.
All right, I'm going to continue this matter to our September 9 meeting. The reason I'm doing so is because you're telling me you're pursuing your legal remedies with the city to try to get a determination that you get the use that you tell me you thought you had.
Correct.
I'm only postponing it 30 days to get concrete proof that you're actually pursuing that. Whether it be by an application, request, whatever it may be. If after 30 days we're not in any different situation, then as far as I'm concerned, you're a single-family residence that's not in compliance, then and at that point I'll consider the imposition of the fine. So right now, the only thing that you've said that's caused me to go left or right here instead of straight ahead is you're saying or suggesting that there's a dispute regarding the building and zoning use of this property and that you intend to pursue your remedies with regard to that. The fact that you're pursuing legal remedies is something that we respect, but not indefinitely. So I'm going to continue this matter to our September 9th meeting, and if we're in the same posture then that we are now, then I'll be considering the imposition of a fine. I'll assume it's a single-family residence, and that'll be the end of my interest in it. If, on the other hand, I find out that you've actually initiated formal proceedings to get a determination as far as the use that you claim that you're entitled to, then I will take that into consideration, as well as a request for any additional time that may be needed for you to see that process through. In the interim, are we going to need the structural engineer's work no matter what?
Yes.
And then I would hope that you would also be able to give me a progress report as far as what the structural engineer has accomplished from now till then. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good. And we'll all talk again on September 9th. Good luck
Can
to
you confirm that date? Because I keep hearing you say September 3rd. Is September 9th?
I'm sorry,
the date?
September 3rd would be the compliance date. The meeting date, which is what you're wanting to know about, is September 9th.
Okay, sir.
And again, the city asks that you please keep us in the loop and talk to your inspector.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. I apologize.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Case number 40, Oregon LLC. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Officer Clegg, my credentials are on file. 935 South MLK was first notified May 14th of 2025. I've had no contact with the owner. No progress has been made. We're requesting a fine of $100 a day, capped to $15,000.
All right, noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony as well as the photographs presented, I'm finding the respondent the sum of $100 per day, commencing July 3, 2025, and that fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until it has reached the sum of $15,000 or the property is brought into compliance. Case number 41, Vishnu Limited and MAA Shantoshi. Anyone here for the respondent? Yes, ma'am, if you would please state your name.
Alana Smith with Cobb Cole Law Firm, 1 Daytona Boulevard.
Well, aside from the record number of continuances, what do I need to know about this?
I believe we're ready to set a compliance date for the November cutoff.
Okay, the November cutoff would be November 5, 2025.
Correct. That's good with us.
Good with you. Great. All right. Well, based upon the report of our inspector and the agreement by counsel, I'm going to order the respondent to be in compliance by November 5, 2025, or the respondent be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Does that mean this thing's going to be done by November 5th?
Hopefully, our final inspections
Excuse me,
moved
I'm only
to.
asking as a neighbor. I'm not looking for a commitment here. I've
final-
just stared at that building every day I go
Yeah.
home. And of course, the one catty corner to it that we'll be talking about in a little while. It's a popular corner, but
Yeah, they
yours
plan
is
to
progress.
open in November.
Your corner is progress, so that's
Yeah,
a good thing.
it's on the come up. But yeah, the final inspections moved out to October, so they plan to be open by November.
Cool, very good. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. And then I don't mind waiting, but I have case 50 as well. I don't know if you want
Let's
to
go to case 50.
skip ahead.
Araya International Realty LLC. Okay, I have this matter is here for the imposition of a fine. So let's hear from our inspector.
Good morning, John Stinson, Code Inspector with the City. My qualifications are on file. This respondent was first notified on 28 February 2025. This was a complaint-driven case. The violations were cited as exterior walls, exterior doors, peeling paint, damaged roof, damaged interior surfaces, infestation, damaged plumbing fixtures, electrical system hazards, inoperable outlets, missing smoke detectors, and no hot water. The property was posted on 28 February 2025. Compliance was due on 28 March 2025. My last visit to the property was on 11 August 2025. Compliance, and we're asking for the imposition of a fine of $300 per day.
How much?
$300 to be kept at $20.
What say the respondent?
So we would like to request sorry, I don't know if my mic is on, but we'd like to request a 90-day extension in lieu of the fine to allow for the demolition. Basically, the property owner had a contractor come look at everything, and the contractor said if they did some repair work, it would just lead to more structural issues. So their intent is to just demolish the initial building. They are going to give their tenants till the end of this month to vacate, and then 30 days after that is when they intend to start demolition. And then they're going to do a full rebuild, and they have a contract already executed with a contractor to.
Do you have documentation of this, and did you provide that to Mr. Stenson?
Yes, I believe we did, but we just engaged with the client, so I believe we provided it within the last week. It might have even been yesterday. Jessica got with our office, sent it over.
Oh, you just represent, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I haven't seen you on this one before.
Yeah.
So what say the city to the notion that we're going to demolish in lieu of all this stuff?
City has no objection.
And how committed are we to demolishing this thing?
Yeah, like I said, we had already entered into, or the property owner already entered into a contract with a contractor to get it demolished and rebuilt. So they're contractually committed to it.
And how much time are you looking for?
We are looking for a 90-day extension.
And is the building occupied at present? You have one tenant?
They're working on, I believe there's 4 tenants, and they're all, I think a few have already vacated. The property owner's offering accommodations through different properties they own in Daytona. But all of them will be out by the end of this month. But I'm not sure how many have already vacated, but there's only a few in there at the moment. They're just working on moving out.
Do you know who your demo contractor is?
Actually, I believe I have a copy of the contract. Contractor is Central Florida Renovations.
Thank you.
All right. Based upon the representation of the respondent that the building is going to be demolished, the tenants are being removed, and they would expect demolition to be completed within 90 days, then I will go ahead and amend our current order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until November 5, 2025 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Does that take care of everything?
Sure.
Very good. All right, good luck. All right, that brings us back to case number 42, Eagle-Eye Real Estate LLC, and I believe we have a respondent appearing by Zoom. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
You would
Yes,
please
sir.
state your name and be sworn by our secretary.
Erica Timms.
Raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And what is your relationship to Eagle-Eye Real Estate LLC?
A business partner.
Very good. All right, this matter's here for the imposition of a fine, so let's hear from our inspector.
Inspector Ron Beanie, code compliance credentials are on file. The respondent was first notified on August 12th, 2024. Since the last hearing, I have had contact with the owner. There has been no progress. Staff is recommending a fine of $100 a day at a cap of $20,000. But, Your Honor, I would like to add that since sitting here, I've had contact via text message from Erica stating that she's been in the process of attempting to make payment and has a meeting set up for tomorrow with Melissa to make that payment.
What does all that mean?
The case is based off of a permit payment that has not been made. And once that's made and everything is then finalized, it'll be over.
A meeting with permits with, who's her meeting with?
She says,
Melissa Carter.
What department is that?
Let me check her email. I'm sorry. She's a senior permit technician in permits and licensing.
Okay, all
I
right.
would have paid online yesterday, but the online portal only allows a $16,000 payment max, and my fee is $19,000. She tried to give me a workaround, but it didn't work. So she said that I need to come into the office. Unfortunately, I'm in Claremont all day in meetings, so I'm meeting with her tomorrow to make the payment in person.
So the only thing that's required for you to come into compliance is to make this payment?
Correct, and I cannot make it online because the portal
your
has
understanding?
restrictions.
that is my understanding as well.
And you fully intend to do so?
Tomorrow, yes, sir, at 3:00. I told her I'd be there.
Very good. All right, well, then I will amend our current amended order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until September 3, 2025 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, goodbye.
You're welcome. Case number 43, Ivan and Carden, LLC. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Mark Jones, field supervisor. My credentials are on file with the city. Respondent was first notified on January 18th, 2025. Since last hearing, I have had contact with the owner The permit was issued yesterday, August 11th. They're just waiting for the final for the fence. Staff is recommending amending to the next cutoff. All the other violations, the interior violations, are in compliance.
I'd like to make sure that, did they not come up on Zoom, Xavier? Yeah, did. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. No, 43 is not here. Okay, thanks.
What is that 631 North Grandview?
That was South Daytona Live, or Daytona Live, where we had numerous complaints in regards to a business that was there, had numerous fines that were issued. The only thing remaining is the fence that they put up without a permit. It wasn't Daytona Social Club, I'm sorry. That was, we had police issues there with the property. We had numerous fines issued against the property and the tenant that was there.
All right, so in any event, what is it you're needing?
I'm just asking to amend to the next cutoff. The permit was issued, they just have to get the inspection.
Very good. All right, based upon our inspector's report, I will amend our current amended order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until September 3, 2025 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 44. Covenant Community Development Corporation of Florida, LLC, and I believe we have somebody appearing via Zoom.
Let me answer this real quick. Is your organization able to? Yes.
Hello.
Are you still there? Yes. You can hear me. If you're looking at the list.
Yes, sir. If you would please state your name and be sworn.
I'm Attorney Cedric Donaldson for Covenant Community Development Corporation.
No need to be sworn.
Yes, sir.
All right, I have this matter is here for the imposition of a fine, so let's hear from our inspector.
Respondent was first notified on April 5th, 2024. Since last hearing, I have had no contact from the owner, but the building has been completely demoed. If you recall, this was the church that we had numerous issues with. All we're waiting on is for the permit department to final the inspection. That's what the property looks like now.
I kind of like the church.
Yes,
We did too.
Unfortunately.
All right, I'm sorry, what now?
Unfortunately, it had too many structural issues that they couldn't, it wasn't financially feasible for them to keep the church.
I understand.
Correct.
So at this point, what, if any, relief is the city looking for?
We're just asking to amend to the next cutoff for the permit to be finalized.
Counselor, does that sound all right to you?
Yes, sir. That's the only reason why we haven't contacted Inspector Jones. The permit hadn't been closed out, and it was really because the space was so tight for the contractor to demo that they had to destroy some of the sidewalk, which required them to fix, and so they couldn't close the permit out until that get fixed.
All right.
Your Honor, if I may, so I understand you were waiting for that, but personally, I'm a big stickler for communication, even just to say, hi, I've been hired onto this case. We're waiting on A, B, and C. If you could please reach out to the inspector or myself via email or phone call, whatever is easier for you, just so we have your representation on file.
Yeah, I've been representing this case since it initiated. And I just got contact from the contractor about the sidewalk issue. So, but yeah, I've had communication with Inspector Jones in the past and have no problem with keeping you and Inspector Jones in the loop. I don't have your contact information, so I can get it from Inspector Jones. Yeah, but yeah, I have no problem with communicating our status to you or Inspector Jones.
Thank you.
So have I done what I'm supposed to do yet?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm amending our current order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until September 3, 2025 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. And what am I waiting on? The permit to be finalized?
Yeah, as the attorney stated, they did have a couple sections of sidewalk with them bringing the heavy equipment on and off that they have to repair. That should easily be done by the next cutoff.
Very good. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Case number 45, Atlantic County 03 LLC. That sounds familiar. Did we already do that? Maybe not. Okay, continued from the June hearing, imposition of a fine. Anyone here for Atlantic County 03 LLC? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Respondent was first notified January 3rd, 2025. Since the June hearing, we've had contact with the owner and there's been no progress. The city is in the process of buying this property. Last inspection was August 11th, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. SAC recommends we amend to the October cutoff for Ken Thomas with the redevelopment department.
Okay, and why am I extending it to, what am I extending it to, October?
October. The city's in the process of buying this property.
Okay,
So they're just
All right.
asking for more time for paperwork.
very good. All right. Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and her report regarding the status of the property and the dealings between the parties, I will amend our current order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until October 8, 2025 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Thank you.
Your Honor, this case seemed familiar because it's the same respondent as case 25.
Case number 46, William Dennison Sr. Yes. Sure. I think those were like 23 and 24, something like that.
Give us just a minute, Mr. Dennison.
22 and 23.
Give us just a minute. You can sit right there for just a second. It's not, go ahead and have a seat.
Okay, case number 22, Dreamers Outreach LLC. Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was field generated, opened on May 30th of 2025, unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris. First notification was on June 6, 2025. Property was posted. Compliance was due by June 16th. Last day of reinspection was August 11th. Non-compliance, no contact with the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance to next cutoff.
All right, noting the absence of the respondent based upon our inspector's testimony, I find the respondent in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 23, Herbert Green Jr. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
This case was field generated, opened on June 2nd of 2025 for unmaintained vacant lot with trash and debris. First notification was on June 12th. Property was posted. Compliance was due by June 22nd. Last day of reinspection was August 11th of 2025. Result, non-compliance. There's been no contact with the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance to next cutoff.
Noting the absence of a respondent based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Now that should bring us back to
46.
case number 46, William Dennison Sr. Okay, 46. All right, gentlemen, if you would please state your names and be sworn.
Leslie Amos. William Dennison.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Continued from the June hearing, zoning and no BTR violation. Hang on one second. Last time we were here, we learned that all other violations have been brought into compliance with the exception of the zoning violation and the BTR. There is a review going on to see if there is currently a pathway for licensing that this organization, something, and requested to continue for 60 days to allow the completion of that review and any other things that Mr. Amos may need to comply with as a result of that review. Everything has been brought into compliance except the zoning and BTR. We continued to the August 12th meeting, June, July, August, okay, I guess that's 60 days, for a finding of not compliance or non-compliance on the zoning and no business tax receipt violation. There, are we all up to speed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so as far as the zoning and no business tax receipt violation, do you agree the violation existed or occurred as stated in the notice of violation? Or are you disputing it?
I would dispute that.
All right, just got to hear it for the record. All right, so let's start with the city. What is the zoning and BTR issue as it currently stands?
Inspector LaWanda Domingo with City of Daytona Beach Code Compliance. My credentials are on file. It was a matter of a denied business license back in 2016. There has since been meetings between City Hall, our department manager, and Mr. Amos. He received correspondence from City Hall on that.
Mr. Amos is what, the property owner?
He's the owner of the nonprofit establishment that's there without the business license.
Okay.
Currently, there is an application that was submitted and documents that is under review. The status is under review. So we are requesting to continue to the October cutoff to allow them time to follow through with the process to complete that licensing.
Okay. Who owns this property? I'm asking all of you.
Mr. Dennison.
Mr. Dennison owns the property. Okay, and so Mr. Dennison's the owner of the property.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the business tax receipt and the code violations are kind of separate.
Yes, originally that zoning violation was related to that previous business license application where they denied it because of the use as a social club, bottle club. They've revisited that in a meeting and were exploring pathways to get it licensed, which is currently in progress. He submitted a new business tax receipt application, and that's currently under review right now through permits and
what
licenses.
was the bottom line? It was either going to be a nightclub or a social club, one or the other, something like that?
Yes.
Well, I understand that, but what's the dispute? Somebody's claiming it's a nightclub and somebody's claiming it's actually a social club? What's the city's contention?
Well, there was a fine previously imposed on the property for it being used as a social club, adult entertainment, theater, and bottle club. So
When was that fine?
back in 2016.
Okay.
We were never notified.
All right, well, that's what I get for looking for history. All right, so let's bring up the current events now.
Yes.
So now, the dispute here, okay, I understand you don't have a business tax receipt. And I assume the business tax receipt's going to be dependent on what kind of determination is made as far as the use to which the property can be put. And I'm assuming that's the nature of the conversation that's going on that you're alluding to now.
Yes, sir.
And as far as that conversation goes, what are the two competing contentions?
From what I could see in the record details of the business tax receipt, there was a correspondence dated June 12th of 2025. There's verbiage in the letter that states the city has determined that Mingler's Social Club should be classified as a private club or lodge as defined by the City of Daytona Beach Land Development Code. Club or lodge is as defined below, and then there's the definition of that. So it looks like they're going along with the definition of a club or a lodge in that correspondence that was sent to
As
Mr.
opposed to a nightclub.
Social club, adult bottle
Right.
theater, those things that were referenced in the
Anyway,
previous case.
that is that's the subject of whatever conversations are taking place.
Yes, sir.
And that's what you're looking for the additional time for.
Yes, sir, because he has submitted the application and the documents that they requested, and that BTR application has an under review status. I believe there's inspections that still need to take place for that business tax receipt as well.
So the city right now is proposing what? A continuance of this to the October
Continuing
meeting?
to the October cutoff to allow the time
To
for.
allow the city and the respondent to see if they can resolve the matter. If not, you come back here again?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Is that about right?
We had a meeting on July 14th. The meeting went very well in between the city and them. We've supplied everything they've asked for, so yes.
Okay. All right. Then, based upon the report from the inspector and based upon what appears to be a consensus here as far as the current efforts going on to resolve this matter, I will continue any determination to our October 14, 2025 meeting. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to y'all.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Case number 47, R&J Estates, LLC. Anyone here for the respondent?
Your Honor, I just need 1 minute while they get sworn in.
Okay, if you would please state your name and be sworn.
State your name.
Rosa Alvarado.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you.
Are you the property owner, the business owner of RJ Estates?
Is this Colette? Hey, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Could you do me a favor and please call Mary Ellen Oster?
Yes, thank you.
All right, we are here for the imposition of a fine. We've already, the respondent has already identified herself and been sworn. So what say the city?
So we just had some new information come to light, and we're going to ask to amend to the next cutoff so we can research the new information that we received about the work that was actually done inside the property.
Okay. Ms. Alvarado, the city is asking me to continue this matter to our next meeting, which would be September 9th. Do you have any objection to that?
No.
All right. Then, in accordance with the request by the city, as stipulated to by the respondent, I will continue this matter to the September 9, 2025 meeting. Is that
Thank
all we
you.
need to do on this one?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Case number 48, Jorge Iguerdo. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
The respondent was first notified on February 22nd, 2025. Since the last hearing, I have had contact with the property owner. The property is occupied at this time, and there has been minimal progress since the last hearing. Staff recommends a $250 a day fine with a max of $15,000.
Is that the property?
Yeah, so the only thing that's been done is this front building, 506, has been pressure washed, and it looks like it's being prepped to be painted, but it's been in that state. I do have a current picture of it. You can just see the edge of it. There it is. It's been like this for almost a month now, and it hasn't made any progress from here. And I did have contact with the property owner, but I have not had any contact with him in about a month now.
Okay, originally this respondent was cited for damaged stucco, peeling paint, outside storage, insects, no screens. So,
And it came to us through the police department as the complainant. It was a drug property that they were having to visit frequently, and Inspector Tomango actually has a case where somebody was killed inside, and she's got a case with the interior of the property.
okay. Very good. Well, not very good. All right. Noting the absence of the respondent based upon our inspector's testimony, I find that the respondent is still in noncompliance, and in finding the respondent the sum of $250 per day commencing July 3, 2025, and that fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $15,000 or the property is brought into compliance. Case number 49, Gregory Karpinski. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
This respondent was first notified on January 18th, 2024. Since the last hearing, I have had no contact with the property owner. The property is owner occupied at this time. Since the last hearing, progress has been made, but no building inspections have been completed. Staff recommends $100 per day with a max of $10,000.
Noting the absence of the respondent based upon our inspector's testimony, I'm finding the respondent the sum of $100 per day commencing July 9, 2025. That fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the amount of the fine reaches the sum of, was it $10,000?
Yes, sir.
$10,000 or the property is brought into compliance.
Thank you.
Case number 50. Did we not do 50?
Yeah, we did 50, so.
Case number 51, Sunshine Ventures and Management LLC. I believe we have a Zoom attendee.
Morning, Judge.
I hear you. There you are. Mr. Bear, how are you today?
I'm fine, and yourself?
Did you go to Africa since I saw you last?
I did. I was there for 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay, continued from the June hearing, progress report, set a compliance date for remaining violations. That's what I have this down for, so let's hear from our inspector. Oh, hang on a second, I'm sorry, I'm being rude. Yes, sir, your name and...
Kobe Bezalel.
I'm sorry, say your name again?
Kobe Bezalel.
You swear from the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
And your affiliation with Sunshine Ventures and Management?
Owner.
Do we have a new owner?
One of the owners, yeah.
One of the owners. Okay. All right. Very good. All right, Mr. Inspector, what's up?
Good morning, John Stinson, Code Inspector with the city. The qualifications are on file. As of 25 June 2025, all the fence repairs were corrected. However, they still have permits that are under review. The ownership date versus the permits are still up in the air. So they still have permits under review. They have still not obtained any permits. Other than that, there's been no change to the status of the property.
Permits under review. What does that mean?
I can provide further
That's a good
updates.
question.
Okay.
So everything as far as what needed for the permit with the architectural design, everything was submitted. Then I understood that what is missing right now to complete the permit for approval was the asbestos report. So we actually in the process of getting doing that asbestos report. Yesterday there was the actual company that we hired, GNS Good Environmental Incorporated. So they were already yesterday at the property taking samples inside. And I understood it's going to be sent to a lab, and we should have the results by the end of this week or beginning of next week. And once we submit that, I guess we can basically get the permit approved.
All right. So are we able to, let me back up. Let me go back to our inspector here. What constitutes compliance? Taking care of a laundry list of items?
Yes, sir.
I assume it'll be an extended time to do so?
When they actually have a permit in hand, then they'll be able to start. But until then, we're not giving any leniency because this has been in this state forever.
I understand. But I guess the fact remains they can't go anywhere until they get the permits.
Correct.
And I was just wondering if you had a guesstimate as to how much time it should take to do the work once the permits are in hand.
I have no
I mean,
idea. I don't know what the...
We're not are we remodeling this building?
Yes, we have the plans to remodel the complete building inside and out. So once the permit will be approved, we'll proceed first with all
Okay,
the...
once the permit's obtained, is he in compliance with this particular notice? Or is
No.
this particular notice dependent on all the work being done?
All the work needs to be done and the permits need to be finalized
So
by the
I'm
building
going to be
department.
babysitting this for a while.
Probably so.
Okay, so right now I just need to focus on permits.
Yes, sir.
All right. Then I guess we will have you or one of your other associates back at next month's meeting. Sounds like your permit should be on its way.
I hope so.
And then once we have the permit in hand, then I'll be asking both sides to give me their best estimates as to how much time is going to be required to bring it into compliance. Apparently compliance in this instance means everything being done. I don't know what the scope of the construction is, but if it's going to be anything lengthy, then I guess we'll have to break it up into chunks along the way. So we will reconvene at the October 14 meeting to discuss this matter again. I'm hoping at that point you have your permits, and then you can start talking to me about what construction you're starting, and you can give me an overview, and if I can't just, conjure up some date in the future that you're going to be given compliance, and we'll break it up into pieces.
Sure, yeah,
Good
no
enough.
problem. Will do.
And in the meantime, you have irate neighbors around there, so do everything you can to kiss butt. I'm not going to...
We're doing our best. We're doing our
Just
best.
do what you can. All right, good luck to you. Good
Your
to see
Honor,
you, Dennis.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
we still have, the fence,
The fence is in compliance.
but we have 5-day retroactive fine. That we're
That is
asking
true,
for.
yes.
Yeah, so we still need to ask for the 5-day fine because they didn't fix the fence until June 25th.
When was it due to be done?
June 20th.
It's in the binder.
Okay.
Can I
What was
go-
the cause of it?
It's,
What was the cause for the delay?
So immediately after the previous hearing, which we were given 10 days to get that fixed,
it's an auto
we actually contacted Mr. Stanston actually to meet at the property so we can understand exactly what, and he can point the problems at the fence. He was busy at the time, and we met at the 9th day at the property, and he pointed out all the issues. And then after that was when we met John, the property was June 19. The contractor then, the day after, on the 20th, started working on that. And then I reported back on the 24th.
All right,
with
we're going to be
pictures.
foregoing any fine on that matter. Okay. 10-4?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we've cleared the slate. You're getting your permit. We'll talk about it next week. You know the neighborhood you're dealing with.
I know.
And I'm saying that with nothing but love. I'm not criticizing the neighborhood. Your place has been an eyesore forever, and hopefully you're going to turn it around.
We're
Hope
doing
springs
our
eternal. But you need to be mindful of those neighbors. They've endured a lot over the years. So all that having been said, we will see you at the October 14th meeting.
Sounds good.
And Judge?
Thank you.
Good luck to everybody.
Mr. Rakelja,
Yes.
that concludes my representation in this matter. I will not be involved going forward.
It's unfortunate. I won't get to see you anymore.
We'll find something else to bring back to your attention.
I'm sure we'll cross paths.
All right, take care.
It
Good,
was a
good
pleasure
talking to
working
you.
with you, sir.
See you later, Dennis.
All right, fun.
Case number 52, Daytona Beach MHP LLC. Anyone here for the respondent? These poor folks drew the last card in the deck.
Morning, sir.
Number 52.
Morning, sir. Sean Cornell on behalf of the respondent.
Dion Kuchel, I'm the district manager for Port Communities.
Can you spell your last name?
Kucel.
All right, well, let me see if I can get out of this the easy way, or do we, okay.
I need to swear her in if she's going to be testifying. You swear affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
So help me God,
Thank
I
you.
do.
All right. Counselor, your name again?
Sean Cornell.
Mr. Cornell, does your client agree these violations existed or occurred as stated in the notice of violation?
Would you please clarify the address of which properties and?
I'm assuming we're talking about 622 North Beach Street.
No, sir. The property that was violated or received the notice of violation is 180 Beach Manor Court. At some point throughout this process, I wanted to bring the magistrate's attention to the fact that the property address was switched. The property 622 North Beach Street did not receive statutory violation of a notice.
Well,
We have the right to amend citations to correct based on who we think is responsible. They were properly notified when the violation was corrected per statute.
Let's back up. Why don't we start with the basics, and for that, I'll turn to Mr. Stinson.
Good morning. John Stinson, Code Inspector with the city. 622 North B Street is the address of the trailer park's property in its entirety.
The trailer park.
North Beach Street,
This
just
is the
south of
trailer
Madison.
park, okay. You go north up Beach Street, past that huge concrete monolithic wall that somebody's now created to blot out the northern hemisphere. You go past that, and you turn left at the light, at the bait shop, then you turn right at the next light, and is that Beach Street still?
Yes.
Okay, that's the Beach Street, and you continue down that road, and that's where the huge trailer park used to be.
Correct.
And we now still have pieces of trailer park scattered in the area.
Sir,
Am I in the right geographic area?
I believe you are, sir.
Yes.
And as
Okay,
as
good
a
enough.
proud
All right.
member of the Manufactured Housing Association, the industry is trying to push away from the term trailer park and refer
Good
to
luck.
it as a manufactured housing community. But I believe you're correct. That is the entire property that we're looking at here.
Okay.
But
All right,
I'll allow
we're
Mr.
at- So we're at the
Sensen-
park,
Yes,
622 North Beach. Is that where it's located?
that's correct.
And is the owner Daytona Beach MHP LLC?
Of 622 North Beach Street,
And
yes.
they were the ones that were cited?
Originally correct.
Okay, originally, uh-oh. All right.
Like we mentioned, there was an address mix-up. So the actual trailer, manufactured
mobile
home,
Manufactured
manufactured home itself, individually owned. Trailer park is the manufactured community is a different entity. Long story short,
Do we
the
have
one,
somebody appearing by Zoom on this?
I attended
Oh,
personally.
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I
Go
guess
ahead,
so.
I'm sorry.
There's a lot of attention on the original clerical scrivener's error of misciting someone, which was corrected.
Correct.
And now we are here. This is where we are today. Going back to a lawful correction that was properly notified under statute isn't relevant at this time, as it's the contention of the city.
correct.
May I respond to that, or
No.
allow him first?
No, I'd like to finish a thought here. Okay, we're at 622 Beach Street. We've got the proper respondent,
Yes,
and they're cited for outside storage, unmaintained commercial property, unmaintained road and harborage, dilapidated fencing, extension cords. Those are the violations?
that's correct. The extension cord violation has been corrected, and the shed is gone.
Any of the other matters brought into compliance?
The fencing on the property is still dilapidated.
Okay.
I have not yet received any kind of documentation that addresses the road and harborage,
Okay,
and the outside storage still remains.
and the outside storage still remains. Okay. All right, so I've just heard from our inspector, who's testified under oath, that those violations still exist. So what say the respondent to that?
Understood, Your Honor. So what I'll start with is this is a mobile home community with 54 individual mobile home lots. And what I did at the last hearing is I brought some authority to say, yes, my client's company owns the park itself, but under the Florida statutes, each individual mobile home owner is responsible for each mobile home lot. Now, I can come
Okay,
back.
hang on
I
a
can
second.
come back to that.
Each owner is responsible for each lot,
Correct.
notwithstanding that the lot is still owned by the park?
So
Correct.
I can.
But
can
I can-
Can I read the exact what it actually?
I didn't
said?
interrupt when
Okay,
she was
I
speaking.
did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Counselor, just a second.
I'm gonna come. I'll come back to that issue. The reason why I bring it up is because the first notice that was addressed to my client was addressed to the one mobile home lot. It was lot number 180. So this entire time where we were working with the city trying to come into compliance, we were under the impression that they were focusing on this one mobile home lot, lot number 180. Now, there are 53 other lots in the community. There's also common areas in the community. There's also fencing all around the community. If the city wanted to pursue other responsible parties, the city is more than within their rights to do so. But for the purposes of the hearing today, the notice that my client received in February and April was addressed to lot number 180. So what I was going to have my client do is make sure that when we're addressing, that fencing issue is not on lot number 180. That's on a different mobile home lot. So I wanted my client to make sure that we identify which piece of the property we're looking at.
What about the notice suggests to you it's confined to lot 180?
I have the notice right here, sir, and it says that the property location is 180 Beach Manor Court. And then I have a prior notice sent in February, which also states the property location as 180 Beach Manor Court.
Okay, I have a notice of violation, it says property location, 622 North Beach Street. Parcel ID,
He's re-
533-801-060040.
I actually reached out to Mr. Stenson this month, and I asked him for the original notice of violation, and the one that he provided was 180 Beach Manor Court.
Those citations were replaced with the one you're looking at, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, what now?
The one that you're looking at is the updated, corrected one. He's referring to an old one that is no longer
Okay,
one we
well,
are.
do you have the updated, corrected notice of violation?
No, sir. May I
Never seen
have a
it?
copy? And the reason why it's really important, my client, again, and I mentioned at the last hearing, my client wants to clean up the property. They want to make sure that their tenants clean up their spaces in the property, that my client keeps the common areas clean. If there are fencing issues to address, we can address them. But by looking at this notice of violation, there's 54 individual mobile home lots on the property, and there are 56 structures, and there's fencing everywhere on the property. If the city just cites dilapidated fencing and some junk and debris stored outside, and my client is trying in good faith to address these issues, there's no way of knowing exactly what they need to do to come in compliance. And at each and every time that we have tried to meet with the city to try to determine what is it that needs to be done, what setbacks needs to be addressed, what lot are you looking at, what junk or debris are you looking at, we haven't been able to get a clear answer as to what the city is, at what we're even looking at together. Again, our impression was the scope of the hearing today was just lot number 180, and not the entire premises itself.
Okay.
Your Honor, can I submit it to evidence, certified
Okay,
mail?
just a second. Okay, were you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, ma'am. What did you want to say?
I would just like to submit into evidence a certified mail of when we did give him proper notification per statute. This is the violation that you have, that we have, that's on record, that
Okay.
they were sent via certified mail.
I'll take
This
your
is-
word for it. So when was it received by them?
Here it says that it was received April 22nd, 2025.
Okay.
And then this is already on record per the secretary.
All
but
right.
If you want to see it.
Nope.
May I have a copy?
We're here.
May I have a copy of that?
You have extra copies?
Okay, so now we are all here. So, Mr. Stenson,
Yes, sir.
your notice of violation, I assume is comprehensive. I don't doubt that for a moment. And I guess what your gripe is that, well, we don't want comprehensive. We just us of what we're statutorily obligated or required to do, nothing more, nothing less. And that may be an issue between you and our attorney, but as it currently stands, I suspect Mr. Stenson has notified the property owner upon which these violations are occurring. And Mr. Stenson has probably not concerned himself, nor do I understand why he would have to, with what are the rights and responsibilities and obligations between the property owner and its various tenants. Not to mention, they're tenants of manufactured homes, which is probably another species of tenancy that he may not be familiar with to begin with, because I don't know very many people who are, except you. So that having been said, what I'm confronted with here is a notice of violation talking about park-wide deficiencies that, as it currently stands, are not in compliance. Is that about right?
Correct.
Now,
Sir?
you're still contesting whether there's a violation by your client at all. Is that my understanding?
Sir, frankly, I'm still confused as to whether this case number 0278 is addressing 180 Beach Manor Court or whether it's addressing 622.
Well, the one I have says 622 North Beach Street.
Your Honor, again, I restate for the record, per Florida statute, proper notice can be sent to the public, what the property appraiser says via certified mail, which we did. He has been here at every hearing. It's part of the record. I can give him a copy again today, but this is a matter that's just distracting from the fact that he is not in compliance.
No, sir. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the notice is not sufficient. You can't expect to walk into a mobile home park with a one-page notice and say, you guys need to address every single you need to see these 6 little bullet points. You know, I know you have 56 different homes on this community, and you have fencing all around the community. You guys need to make sure you take care of all of this. That's unrealistic, and it's contrary to the statute if you are identifying photographs of a mobile home lot that's owned by that's occupied by a tenant that's leasing the lot. And now, in between the time that the last hearing occurred and this hearing, we had an informal meeting with the city attorney, with Mr. Stenson, and what my client did, and we brought an additional copy today. And my client was under no obligation to do this. They provided the city with a rent roll of all of the tenants in the community, all of the mobile homeowners. Out of the 54 lots, here are most of the homes are tenant-owned homes, which means most of these homes are the responsibility of the tenant to maintain, and as well as the lots underneath them. They also provided them with a lot layout map identifying the sizes and the spaces of all 54 mobile home lots. And we said, we understand that there are issues in the community, and if there are, for example, if there's an issue at lot number 27, what you need to do is you need to cite lot number 27, you need to cite the mobile homeowner of that lot. And that's exactly what the statute says, 723.024. And so, again, and then in terms of the common areas, what my client just wants to do is identify, okay, what are the issues with the common areas and what can we do to resolve them? I know one of the issues that really we're not disputing at all is that my client is responsible for the perimeter fence. But what my client needs to understand is what exactly needs to happen with the perimeter fence. The only thing that it says on here is dilapidated fencing. It's at lot 180. And so what my client did was they replaced the fencing at lot 180, which is around the perimeter of the property. But the bullet point on the notice just says dilapidated fencing. It's a 3-acre property with probably a quarter mile of fencing around it. So the notice isn't really specific enough for my client to understand that without meeting with Mr. Stenson. It's been difficult to get him to the property to meet with us.
May I respond, Your Honor?
No. First off, we deal with many a property much larger than 3 acres. Secondly, I think your client's capable of utilizing a little common sense to understand the nature of the violations. I think they're a lot smarter than that. Thirdly, we have had many a property owner before us whose problems have been instigated, caused, or the direct result of tenants, and they are not our concern. They are not only not our concern, but the city, I suspect, historically goes out of its way not to stick its nose between the contractual relationship between a property owner and its tenant, for fear that the city would get sued for tortious interference with a business relationship. The property owner is responsible for administering its tenants. Now, the only thing, strike that, let me rephrase that. Now, what you've brought up here is this notion that somehow the city's special magistrate is prohibited from ordering the property owner to clear violations that fall within the confines of a tenant's lot. I don't know that to be the case. You haven't explained that to me to where I'm accepting that as true. My attorney over there is not telling me that's the case, and she's the one that I'll probably be listening to, although I listen to everybody. And so, all that having been said, to be perfectly honest, I don't see anything particularly exotic or unique about this situation. The fact that it's a 3-acre property means nothing to me. The fact that these descriptions are generic means nothing to me. And the fact that you may have a multitude of tenants out there who are actually causing your owner its problems means nothing to me, because that is not an area I'm even allowed to stick my nose into. So that having been said, I don't find the notice to be ambiguous at all. I find the notice to be clear. If, as a matter of courtesy, you would like our inspector to accompany your owner to point out anything she might have questions of, I'm sure they'd be happy to comply. I don't know that he's under any obligation to point out trash, outside storage, or for that matter, even a dilapidated fence. And if there is any dispute as to whether the work that was done is going to be sufficient, then you can bring it back to me and I'll decide. And I don't have any problem telling an inspector he's wrong, just like I don't have a problem telling a respondent he's wrong. So that's the lay of the land, and after having heard all that, I find the respondent in non-compliance.
Sir, my client hasn't even testified yet. I was going to ask if my client could testify. We also have barely taken any evidence. May we put on our evidence?
Why don't you just proffer, for my benefit, what your client has to say and what evidence you want to present?
I did want to correct something for the record before we can go, if that's all right. So I am not saying that Florida statute, I'm just going to read it real quick. It just says, a lien, penalty, fine, or other administrative or civil proceeding may not be brought against a mobile home owner or mobile home or any dual responsibility of the mobile home park owner. So if something's under the common areas, it's their responsibility to fix. He is correct in saying that if something is, if such a lien can't be imposed against the mobile home park owner or mobile home park property for any duty or responsibility of the mobile park owner. So I will concede that point, but we are not up here today for areas that are under the control of a mobile home owner. First, there's no resident there. They have been evicted. 2, the areas are common areas. And 3, I'm handing him a copy of what he's already received per Florida statute of the notice of violation. That's all I have.
So if you're referring to the tenant being evicted, you're referring to lot number 180, correct?
Before we finish, or before we get to that, just to let you know, every time I've been to the property, I've spoken with, I guess, individuals who claims to be maintenance people on the property, who claims to be cleaning up under the direction of your property managers, under the direction of the property managers. So there have been many times with opportunities for them to meet me on property, for me to specifically point out, yes, fix that, that's fine, or fix that. Those opportunities were not taken advantage of. Simple as that. They've also alluded to they wanting to demolish the actual manufactured home at 180. So my question is, how do you demolish something that you're not responsible for, if that's what they're basing their case on, that it's two separate entities?
It looks to me like I had a lot of people here making a massive mountain out of a really tiny molehill.
I agree, sir.
Because I don't consider this to be legally complicated at all.
It's not.
No.
And if your client wants to be heard, by all means, let
I would like that, sir. And first, what I'd like to do is clarify what are the violations that my client is being accused of. Can we clarify that? Because
right here on the notice of violation.
Okay, so you're saying that I haven't heard Mr. Stenson testify about the evidence that those violations are present. Are all those photographs just admitted into evidence?
He's already testified as to the nature of the violation.
Okay.
And I thought he testified that they were in non-compliance.
They are in non-compliance, and these photographs were taken yesterday.
There you go.
So the violations are outside storage, unmaintained commercial property, even though it's not a commercial property, rodent harborage, even though there hasn't been any evidence of rodent harborage, dilapidated fencing and improper wiring, but you did say that the wiring was removed between the shed and the...
That's correct.
So that one is no longer being pursued by the city?
That one particular violation is currently in compliance.
Understood. So outside storage, a sanitation at a commercial property, rodent harborage, dilapidated fencing. And which photographs have you relied on as the evidence that's in front of the magistrate? Can you identify them?
Let's see.
First off, the evidence before the magistrate is his testimony that there's a dilapidated fence. And that's enough for me. And I will leave it to the owner to walk her property, ascertain for herself what looks like dilapidated fence, and take whatever repairs she thinks are reasonable and necessary. And then as long as she has done so in good faith, I'll be satisfied.
Okay. So can I just ask Mr. Stenson one more question? Mr. Stenson, your comprehensive assessment of these 4 violations that I just read, is that only located at lot number 180, or is that located in other areas of the community?
Your fencing violation is not only located at 180, but the entire property. The entire fencing on the property is dilapidated.
Okay.
The rodent harborage is being supported by the lack of sanitation on the entire property.
Okay.
The outside storage is basically self-explanatory. You can see the outside storage, you see wood, you see mattresses, outside storage of junk and debris. That's basically what it is, junk and debris.
But you're referring to the photograph.
That just happens to be the photograph that's on the screen right now, but almost every photograph is depicting outside storage of junk and debris, just like that one.
Okay. And may the record reflect that the photographs are of manufactured homes all scattered throughout the community?
Actually, the photographs are of the fence.
If you would like us to email you a courtesy copy of these photos, we can do so.
My concern is that the photographs are beyond the scope of lot 180, and that's what I'm trying to accomplish here. But are we relying on the photographs, or are we not? It's okay. But what I would like is I'd like my client to just put something onto the record, because I know there is some clarification needed in terms of the tenancies that are located at the community. I think that's the most complicated legal issue that we're dealing with here. And I want to make sure that it's on the record. And so if you just want to, just the top, yeah.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Dion Cucella. I'm the property manager for Daytona Beach Mobile Home Park. I've been in this position with Core Management for 1.5 years. The mobile park is owned by Daytona Beach Mobile Home Park, LLC, and I'm testifying as the agent on behalf of the park owner. The park owner leases mobile home lots to individual mobile homes pursuant to Chapter 723, Florida statute. There are 54 individual lots in this park. Many lots are leased pursuant to the oral lot lease agreements. Oral lot lease agreements are common in the mobile home park industry and explicitly recognized under Florida law. As a courtesy for the convenience of the city of Daytona Beach, our attorney provided the city with a rent roll listing each of the tenants' names and addresses of each mobile home park owner, Exhibit 2, and we also provided the city with a courtesy copy of the park lot layout map, which indicates the lease lots within the mobile park community.
May I enter this into evidence as Exhibit number 2?
Sure.
Thank you.
Because the original notice of violation cited only lot 180, I will address only the allegations pertaining to lot 180. I also...
Let's stop there. Let's talk a little bit about the pest control, because I know Mr. Stetson mentioned the issue of rodent harborage.
Yeah. So pest control, there is not presently a pest control harbor issue at lot 180. The city has not provided any evidence of that violation, and I have provided invoices from Orkin showing that the park is regularly serviced for pest control.
So can you just describe the work that Orkin does?
Well, Orkin comes out every month or every other month to our rental homes or apartment homes, such as 622 Apartment 1 and Apartment 2, such as 624 and lots 632 and 634. They are the ones that receive pest control on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. I've provided that to our attorney, which was also provided.
This is Exhibit number 4.
May I discuss the fence?
Yes.
Okay, and the fence, Your Honor, I have made attempts several times, just as well as our attorney has, to reach Mr. Stenson to walk the perimeter. Yes, he is correct when he said he has walked the perimeter before. That was with our facilities manager, Frankie, and he walked him around talking about mobile homes, the park owners, and things like that. What we did here was I have a company that already gave us a bid. I submitted that bid several months ago to our owners, etc. Gave that as well to our attorneys because we wanted to know exactly which fencing, because the original fencing was about the dilapidated fence against the shed at lot 180, which was repaired and fixed I also took pictures yesterday afternoon. I was at the property in the morning, left, went to another property, came back in the afternoon, and took all photos of the fencing area at 180, as well as the Sea Breeze side, which has a 6-foot fence up, which is from the ownership of the vacant lot next to us, because there's no fence on our side on that. But the back of the fence at 180 was repaired. Last time we were here in front of you, Your Honor, I did state that, and I also provided a picture, and I also bought pictures as well. Common areas that we have on site are our offices at 126 Beach Manor Court. Our laundry room is located at the same address, and we have garbage pickup at Sea Breeze as well on Mondays and Thursdays, as well as Beach Manor side on Mondays and Thursdays. So those are our common areas for our community that we are responsible for. And I did bring pictures because I took them yesterday after 4 p.m. yesterday, which are time-stamped on there as well, Your Honor, and I did take pictures of everything. Do you have any questions for me, Your Honor? Would you like to see the photos?
Your Honor, I just wanted to reiterate that my client does have a proposal. In the interest of just resolving this, my client has a proposal to do their fence around the entire property. But we were trying to reach out to the city and figure out, 180 is the lot in the back of the property. So we were trying to figure out, do you guys want us to do the back fence, or do you want us to do the entire property? There's actually not even a fence on the north side of the property, right?
Yes.
So, we were just looking for some clarification, and we weren't able to obtain it from the city.
Because on the proposal, Your Honor, the person put the back of the fence, which was 180 from Beach Manor Court side, left side, all the way to the right side of Sea Breeze, that dilapidated fence there. We replaced and repaired the one at 180, but we also got a proposal for the whole back fence and the entire fence all around the property, which is on this proposal. I've been just asking, do you want us to do just the back, or do you want us to do the whole fence? And that's why my president won't sign off on this, because we don't know, and I've been asking.
And I know I keep saying we keep reaching out, but I have multiple emails where I've reached out, and I can put them on the record, but I don't want to have to do that.
No, let's
Where I've said, can you please just provide a little bit of clarification on the fencing issue? The fencing issue I know is an issue. You can tell by the photographs it's an issue, but we want to come into compliance. We want to make sure that we understand exactly what needs to be done.
Sir, we can
Your Honor, if I may respond.
If that's what you want.
Your Honor, if I may respond.
Sure.
The city doesn't appreciate misrepresentation of facts. Number one, that list was provided because we came into a joint stipulation that we would give you a continuance, which we didn't have to do if you were working with us. Two, I would love to have those emails entered into evidence, because those emails will show countless responses from myself and Mr. Stenson explaining that the fence is the entire property as cited in the violation they were received. We have been clear and unambiguous. We are willing to go out and schedule yet again another site visit. Well, Mr. Spencer will yet again explain the violations yet again. But aside from one more continuance, we are not willing to continue this more than one more time, because we have been clear and unambiguous.
Does anybody here ask for a continuance?
No, sir.
I'm not continuing anything.
Somebody
Somebody asked me to continue something?
No, I didn't.
We were just trying to work with them, but
Okay, well, let's stop. Let's just stop, folks. This really isn't all that complicated. And at the risk of repeating myself, just for the benefit of the respondent, the fact that you've got 3 acres of property to deal with is meaningless to me. Okay? These descriptions, as far as I'm concerned, are more adequate to tell you as to the nature of the violation. And 99% of the definition, I would respectfully say, is just common sense. The dilapidated fence, I don't know what the dilapidated fence is, because I'm not out there. Maybe it means you need to replace one panel over here. Maybe it means you need to replace 100 feet over there. I don't know. Maybe it's more cost effective to replace the whole thing. I don't know. Use your common sense.
But sure.
Okay, and if you decide, I think all I need to do is this, and this, and I did it, and the city disagrees, then you show me what you did, and then maybe I'll say, nope, looks to me like they did what they were supposed to do. Okay, so rather than looking for each side writing a Bible to the other about what's expected of them, all we need is a little plain old common sense here. And lastly, and most importantly, if your tenants are trashing the property, that's your problem.
That's correct, John.
Okay? Now, if somebody wants to come in here and explain to me as a matter of law that the property owner is off the hook, notwithstanding the fact, because the tenants are the ones creating the havoc, here again, that'll be news to me, and I'll take that into consideration. But historically, we always keep our hands off the landlord-tenant relationship for fear that we would tell some tenant, get that old mattress out there away from your house, and the next thing you know, the owner's saying, you're harassing my tenants. Well, okay, whatever. So in any event, the contractual relationship exists between the owner and the tenants. It's the owner that's going to be responsible for the tenants. So those are the general concepts we need to be aware of. Now, Mr. Stenson, I'm finding the respondent in noncompliance, okay? And I'm talking about 622 North Beach Street. So don't assume or infer from that I'm confining in any way to a single lot anywhere. How much time should reasonably be required for the respondent to come into compliance?
By the next cutoff.
Mr. Stenson is saying that you ought to be able to take care of the items on this list by the next cutoff, which is September 3 of 2025. What say you to that?
I would just like to obtain clarification on how to address, what is the city
He will go on
looking
site.
for
He'll go on
to
site.
address a rodent harborage issue? What is the
Yes,
city
you're
looking
just going
to?
to take a look at your property. You're going to address whatever conditions you believe might be cause or contributing to it. You're going to show us what you did to remedy or cure it. Okay, I don't expect you to be able to show me a rat-free piece of property, that's for sure.
Right,
And
sir,
I'm
and
not
that's
gonna
that's
go
why I
look at it.
asked,
I'm not going to
because
go hunting for them
it
either.
seems a bit subjective.
But once you
when
provide
look
us
at
the
it.
assurances, the certifications, and perhaps even something from a, you know, from an expert or something along those lines to where we've treated it as well as could reasonably be expected, then I suspect that's going to be satisfactory. Now, if for some reason you're just the rat capital of the world and just going to descend on you anyway, then I'll consider that a freak occurrence. 10-4?
Yes, sir.
All right, the suggestion has been that you ought to be able to have these things done, and what I'm looking at are outside storage, unmaintained commercial property, rodent harborage, dilapidated fencing. I don't know the scope of the fencing issue, I'm not out there. I don't know the scope of the rodent harborage, I'm not out there. So how much time do you think it would take you to do what you reasonably think would be required to come into compliance?
May we clarify the outside storage issue? Because
It's trash. Figure it out on your own.
There's 54 mobile home lots, and you're asking us to figure out what the city's looking for the outside.
We're not asking you to do.
Outside storage.
May I ask a question, Your Honor? When I'm thinking of outside storage, I'm thinking based on what we were received was that we have like a storage area that is common to our company for the property. And what you're saying, sir, is that all the residents, if they're storing stuff out, is that correct, Your Honor?
There's no such thing as storing stuff out. That's outside storage, which is prohibited.
Right.
So if I got a lawnmower sitting in some tenant's front yard, I don't want to see the lawnmower sitting there.
That's what I'm getting at, Your Honor.
9 months.
That's what I'm getting at. I just want to make sure that
And
we're
I'm
clear
not
on
going to
that.
define outside storage for you.
No.
I'm going to let you give it your best shot.
I understood. I just want to double check.
If your performance that they want to try to convince me that you need to be fined, I'll listen to it. But you at the same time might say, well, you know, this is this guy's Aztec monument that he brought back. So he doesn't consider this outside storage. He considers this art. Cool, I'll listen to it.
Right. I got you. I just wanted to
Until
double
then,
check.
I think your common sense is
Oh,
going
yeah.
to take care of 99% of the problem.
So the city would like to clarify, we are not talking about individual lots and people storing stuff within their lots. We're talking about common areas, and redirecting this back to residents is distracting from what we're here for. You know exactly what we're here for. He can go back on property and tell you. We're talking about common areas, not individual lots. We understand that we can't cite you for individual lots. That's the statute. I am acquiescing to that. But that's not what we're here for, and I don't appreciate bringing it back to individual lots because that's not what we're
I'm
here
not
for.
being disrespectful, ma'am. I just wanted to get the clarification. You said it was for common areas. Well, the common areas, we don't have any outside storage. I took pictures yesterday
Okay,
afternoon.
he'll go out.
And I have it right here, timestamp. There is no trash. One time that he sent us an email talking about this area here, that there was outside storage outside of the mobile home park, all along here, and this truck was in there. This truck was there yesterday. I took a picture at 6:09 p.m., and this truck was out there. I also in touch with Sergeant Conley over here and gave her a text as well, saying we put up cameras because our residents were accused of throwing outside storage all along on the outside of this thing there. So to combat that, I put up cameras and put them there, and ever since we put them there, I did let Sergeant Conley know that, and said, anytime that you see storage out there and you want to know who's doing it, please let me know. I'll give you access to those cameras.
And I respect
Do you know that? Were you informed?
Well, what she has just
I am
referred to
outside the
is literally outside the property on the street. Has
All right, here's what
absolutely
we're gonna
nothing to do.
folks, because I'm tired of this. I'm going to order the respondent to be in compliance by September 3, 2025, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Apparently, the only way we're going to get a definitive determination as to what is or is not permitted is, I guess, the city will drag before me everything they think that you have failed to do, and you are going to offer your explanations, and I'm either going to buy them or I'm not going to buy them. And I don't know how many times we'll have to do this, but eventually, I guess we'll just develop an understanding over time, hopefully not a very expensive understanding over time as to what's going to be required. So be in compliance by September 3rd. If you're not, we'll be back here to be fined. They'll have proof of whatever it is they think that you have failed to do, and then you can try to explain to me why I shouldn't consider that to be a violation. And if you got a plausible explanation, then I guess you'll win. If you don't, you won't. That's what we're going to do, because we're not going to keep talking about this indefinitely. I think everybody's overthinking this thing. Okay, good luck to y'all.
Thanks, sir.
All right, the lien review I have as being pulled.
I think that's it.
So, do we have any other matters to be brought before the special magistrate? We're adjourned.